Edward here from erviewer.com. I have another video for you. This is a little different format than I normally do, but I got something here that I think is important, and I want to show it in a video, as opposed to just showing, the hits and the greatest hits, which tends to be the format for public displays of remote viewing. But sometimes it doesn't always go great, and that's the part that interests me the most, is when it does not go great. And I want to see what's going on. My main interest with this thing that we call remote viewing, but I think it'll move into a different terminology, because I think remote viewing is a bit overused, and it has all kinds of different meanings to it. But this experience that we're attempting to have is, in my opinion, the most important part is the experience, not the solving the mysteries of the universe and all that kind of stuff. I do work like that too, but there's more to this that is of interest to me, and this process is the most important thing. And in my opinion, my feeling, my mission is to show the process as much as possible, because I believe that's what will actually help people. I don't think it really helps people when people only see session work that is so good that it may discourage them into thinking, oh my God, I can't do that. I'll never be that good, or whatever. What we need to see, in my opinion, is the process involved. Where does the input come from? What state does it exist in? Everybody has an opinion about that, but we don't know anything for sure. We just don't know anything for sure. And what happens as that input begins to, when we begin to experience the input, once it hits our mental processing realms, what happens? And it's not just theory, what actually is taking place. And that's what my work is about, is to capture that on video and then go over it and look at it to try to comprehend what is happening as that input begins to saturate our neural nets, and our mental processes and emotional processes are stimulated and begin to work with that input. It's like if you drop food dye into a glass of water, and you watch that water suddenly changing from clear into a different color. This process of acquiring these perceptions is similar to that, in that the input is that small drop of food dye, and that glass of water is our mind and all the mental processes within that. And as the input begins to move through it and saturate, what is happening? This is a session, it's not a flattering session. This isn't the greatest hits session, but this, I feel, people will get more out of this than just the greatest hits, because this is an example of what is taking place in my mind, or in the mind of a quote-unquote remote viewer, as the input's moving through. The target was this waterfall here, the Batra waterfall, I think it's called, B-A-A-T-A-R-A. Waterfall was the target. It's an online-based target pool. I'm blind, of course, to the target, and I felt like going into it. I haven't been doing much remote viewing lately. I've been dealing with other things, health issues, and other stuff. So getting back to it, I'm out of practice, and I'm trying to get myself back into the space. This process, quote-unquote remote viewing, is not unlike a sport. If you play basketball or something like that, and you don't play for a month or whatever, and you get back out there, you're out of shape, and you got to get your groove back. You got to find the zone again. You got to remember how you do what you do. And that's kind of how it is for me too. If I don't do remote viewing for a while, I'll tend to forget how to do it a little bit, and then I have to work my way back into that zone. And this is one of those sessions here. So as I'm going through this session, I'm getting all kinds of things that are not related on the surface to the target. This is the target here, the waterfall coming through. I'm getting all these other things here. But as I go back and look over the session, I can see what is taking place over here in my mind. As I'm attempting to perceive the target, what I'm getting here is a high energy space. My mind is translating it into a city that is bustling with all of this energy going on, and there's cranes and there's buildings and there's a subway and there's people and there's all this activity. This is what's going on in my mind. This is a big memory comparison right here that is in the memory comparison realm and the idea generation realm. And as that input, which is this location here, or however it exists in time and space, but is represented in this photograph captured, as it's moving through my mind, I am interpreting all of this energy here into a bustling cityscape here. This is an incorrect translation of the idea of this, which is this energy source right here. That's what that is. As I'm moving through this and trying to make my way through it, I decide to, I'm feeling my curiosity is piqued right now because of this energy source that I'm experiencing. So I do a movement on it here. Move to what is piquing my curiosity and describe. Now this is a movement that I've come up with for myself because what I'm attempting to do is experience curiosity about something that's happening here. And if my curiosity is genuinely triggered, I want to utilize that curiosity to tunnel through the subliminal barrier and get into the deeper parts of my mind where I am experiencing this in however it is being presented. Is it how it exists right now, and there's the actual all the energies coming through, or what? I don't know. We don't know. In the process of human perception, it's all a big we don't know. We're trying to figure out realm. And so this is one of my favorite movements. Move to what is piquing my curiosity and describe. Move to what is piquing my curiosity and describe. I'm getting a visual in my mind, or a memory comparator of like the Hoover Dam or a dam. Okay, so I do my movement. I'm tunneling. I'm using curiosity to tunnel through the liminal barrier, and I get into the element of what this target actually is. What this point in time and space actually is going through my memory comparison realm, which I declare my memory comparator is being triggered, and I'm being triggered with an image in my mind at that very moment of the Hoover Dam. But the actual image was water flowing through the, they have like the big openings or whatever it is. I don't know how they all work, but the water is pouring through these outlets of the dam. That's the image that's in my mind right here. So this is the actual input right here. It's going through all these translation mental processes that are coming through with all of this comparisons and ideas and things that are me in that moment struggling to translate this into something that is describable, which is this energy source right here. Because there's this energy, a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Like the comparator of the dam is the energy, all the energy that is there. Okay, and so my body is working with the motion. I'm trying to translate this. This is what is happening inside of my mind. I'm trying to translate this input into something that I can comprehend, and it's stuck in the memory comparison realm. It's stuck in the idea realm. I'm trying to get it out, and it's stuck in there. Let's move forward a little bit. Energy, I'm getting, it's just this big energy source that I'm attempting to experience. There's another part here that I find very interesting as well. If I can get it. A lot of energy. I'm going to try to express this in movement, but it's like there's a lot of energy. Whatever's happening here, there's a lot of energy to it. It's like kind of a pressure, a lot of energy, kind of a pressure feeling. Okay, so there I am again attempting to get there. In remote viewing, when you train in remote viewing, this is what I'm describing right there is what a viewer is supposed to be doing, which is just describing the target. And that's what I'm doing right here. So this is the actual input that is in my mind right now. There's a lot of energy here. There's something going like this. And that is the actual input. Here's another description here too. I end the session. By this point, I've ended this session. But there's just something more here that I just wasn't fully expressed. Energy, big power, moving power. A lot of power, a lot of power. Kind of explosive. Explosive power. See, I'm getting a dimensional sensation in my mind right now. This subway came from a memory comparison. So I'm not sure about that. That could be just a comparator. But the power, that's got my curiosity. See, at this moment here, what's happening in my mind is this all feels unreal to me. And I am going through a mental process here of what is and what am I experiencing that is real, and what am I experiencing here that is not real. This is feeling very unreal to me. What is feeling real is this energy source here, and I'm trying to resolve that in my mind as the two things are kind of going to war with each other here. All this power, this energy, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, people are, people are watching, it's almost like some kind of show, like a display. Which they do. This is a popular tourist attraction. Like a show or a display or something. Just this kind of big energy. Power. Energy, power. Okay. That's how the session ended. And so that's what, after the session, I was thinking, oh God, it's terrible. This is what a miss. And then I have to go back and give myself some time to recover from how I felt about this session, and then come back to it and say, what is happening here? What is going on? The most important thing is what is taking place inside of my mind, and how that is being translated to. Where is the input? And how can I find it? Here it is, right here. This is the power source, the energy source that is right here, and that's where the target is. So again, what is interesting to me is how this location, as it exists in time and space, is being acquired somehow by my mind, moving through all the mental processing realms. The idea of the pressure of this moving water is translated incorrectly, but it is still being translated into things that that are more memory comparating. These are memories. As I'm repeating myself here, but as I'm repeating myself, I'm just repeating because I'm constantly learning myself of how this was translated into this. You can see the target is in there, but it got translated into this. And all this is in, again, what is being triggered? Memory comparisons, idea generation, the idea of energy, of this power here. And how do I interpret that? I interpret it as a city that has a lot of people in it, a lot of activity. They're constantly moving. They're building. All that energy is being put into something. It is something being built. That's how I translated that input. So again, this is not a flattering session, but I'm not interested in putting out just the greatest hits. I'm going to put out a bunch of these. Whatever sessions that I do, where I can give it an example of where the actual input got translated in my mind into something else, and I can see it and show it. In my opinion, this is what helps. This is what helps people. Fledgling remote viewers who are like, oh my God, my sessions are crap and I don't know what to do, or I'm just going to quit. Or people who think that remote viewing is just you learn a couple of things and then you're solving all the mysteries of the universe. And that's not the case. That just is not reality. What is reality is that our minds are able to access locations throughout time and space, but they're translated in our minds. And our minds go through a conversion process where we convert however this thing exists in time and space. Our minds convert that into a different language. This exists as some form of language that we don't know. Is it quantum, entanglement? Is it whatever it is? We don't know for sure. We're all guessing, our best guess. But it's translated in our minds into this language. And when that language is converted incorrectly, we need to know why. We need to explore why. I'm attempting to describe this energy system, and it's coming out in this language description here. And anyway, I'm babbling on now. I could babble on for hours about this because it's fascinating to me what is taking place here. So I hope you find that interesting too. And but I hope this helps some people who are struggling, or maybe don't have a clear understanding of the process of what this perceptual experience actually is and what it looks like. Not just when it's the big major hit, that everybody oohs and ahs about, but when it comes through mistranslated like this. There's so much to learn. There's so much in here to learn. I could go on and on and on about this session, but you're probably bored with me already. But I hope you find this interesting, and many more to come.